Hey y'all, welcome to the very first episode of Adulting 101 Mastering Your 20s. I'm so glad you're here because this series is all about navigating one of the most exciting and honestly challenging decades of your life. Let me introduce myself. I'm Avery, your certified overproductive big sister who's made her fair share of mistakes, learned some hard lessons, and taken a few unconventional paths along the way. My 20s have been a mix of peaks and valleys. I've pursued dreams I didn't even know I had, made decisions that scared me, and taken roads less traveled. And you know what? It's been worth it, but not without a lot of trial and error. Here's the thing. My parents never really sat me down to teach me about finances or how to navigate adulthood. No shade to them. They did the best that they could with what they were given. But like many of you, I had to figure out a lot on my own. That's why I wanted to start this series this new year in 2025 to share what I've learned and help you avoid some of the bumps in the road I hit. Today, we're starting with financial literacy because, let's be honest, in this economy, if you can get a handle on your money, it makes everything else a little less stressful. So let's dive into the basics of budgeting, saving, and setting yourself up for financial success in very simple terms and simple steps. Secret 1, why financial literacy matters. Okay, let's start with a why. Why is financial literacy so important? Because money touches almost every aspect of your life, whether you like it or not. We live in a capitalist society. Want to move out of your parents' house? You need a budget. Thinking about traveling the world? That requires savings. Dreaming of starting a business or pursuing content creation as a job? You'll need to understand credit and financing. Here's a statistic that blew my mind. According to a 2022 study, financial literacy costs Americans an average of $1,400 per person annually. That's $1,400 down the drain simply because we don't know how to manage our money effectively. And on the flip side, studies show that people who do understand basic financial concepts like budgeting and saving are more likely to achieve their financial goals and feel less stressed about money. Financial literacy isn't about becoming the next Warren Buffett. That's way too much pressure. It's about making informed decisions that help you live the life you want. And the best part, it's a skill you can learn at any time starting right now. I haven't been the most financially educated. I grew up very poor and only recently started working a full-time job where I had to figure all of this out. Secret number 2, the art of budgeting. Let's talk about budgeting, the foundation of financial literacy. If you're rolling your eyes because budgeting sounds boring, stick with me for a second. A budget isn't about restrictions. It's your roadmap to financial goals like saving for a car, paying off student loans, or finally booking that dream vacation. One of the easiest budgeting methods that you can start with if you're a beginner in your 20s is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to needs, things like rent, groceries, and transportation. And no, it does not go towards excessive amounts of avocado. 30% goes to wants, your Netflix subscription, eating out, that gym membership you keep meaning to use, and your excessive use of avocados. 20% goes to savings or debt repayment, such as credit cards or student loans. The key is to track your spending so you know exactly where your money is going. A study from the Journal of Financial Planning found that individuals who budget are 30% more likely to reach their financial goals. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Even if you can only save $50 a month, it's better than nothing. And you need to review your subscriptions. On average, Americans have 7 undiscovered subscriptions they forgot they had. Secret or step 3, building an emergency fund. Now that you have a budget, let's talk about the next step, creating an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Your car breaks down, your laptop dies, or you lose your job. An emergency fund is your safety net. Experts recommend saving 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. That is a lot for me, and I have a big girl full-time job. But why is this so important? According to a recent survey, 56% of Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency with their savings. That's stressful. But having an emergency fund means you can handle life's curveballs without reaching for a credit card or taking on debt. Start small. You can do it. Set a goal to save $500 in the next 3 months. Then build from there. Automate your savings if you can't, so it's like forced savings. Many banks let you set up automatic transfers to a saving account, so you don't even have to think about it. I put 20% of my total income into retirement as forced savings, so I can't touch it. Also, Make sure you address and acknowledge your consumption this year. Perhaps that's why you're not able to save an emergency fund. Secret number 4, understanding credit scores. I literally hate credit. It's like the government wants to force you into going into debt. But let me just demystify credit scores before I hate on them. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that tells lenders how trustworthy you are with money. It's used to understand whether you qualify for loans, credit cards, or even renting an apartment. Here's the breakdown. Scores range from 300 to 850. A score above 700 is considered good, while anything above 800 is excellent. Your score is based on factors like your payment history, credit utilization, how much of your credit limit you're using, and the length of your credit history. The good news, building and maintaining good credit isn't as hard as it seems. Pay your bills on time, keep your credit card balances low, and avoid opening too many new accounts at once. Easier said than done. And don't forget to check your credit report regularly. You can get a free report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus once a year at annualcreditreport.com. Do not dismay. I know, I hate credit too, but I didn't start building up my credit until my late 20s. I'm 28 now. It didn't really start until 2 years ago, and it's been a slow uphill climb. You can start at any point. Start today. Secret 5, the power of compound interest. Now let's talk about the secret weapon of wealth building, compound interest. This is when your money earns interest, and then that interest earns interest. Over time, it creates exponential growth, but this is the long game. For example, if you invest $1,000 at an 8% return, it could grow to over $10,000 in just 30 years without you even adding any penny. That's the power of starting early, and your 20s is a great time to start. Even small contributions like $50 a month can grow significantly over time. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. So don't wait until you're making more money to start saving. Start now, even if it is just a little. When I was working part-time at a local restaurant, only making like minimum wage, I still wished I had put some money away, even if it was just $10, because 8 years later, after that part-time job, it might have accumulated more money. Here's one you're not really gonna like. Secret number 6, avoiding lifestyle inflation and overconsumption. Let's be real. When your income goes up, it's tempting to start spending more. You upgrade your car, move to a nicer apartment, or eat out more often. That's called lifestyle inflation, and it's a trap. It's a trap that can keep you from building wealth. Instead, try to maintain your current lifestyle and put the extra income toward your financial goals. I made a milestone this year. I make more money than I anticipated, and I reached my goal, and now I have forced myself to put 20% of my income into savings so I can't live a luxurious lifestyle even though I could potentially afford to. This doesn't mean I can't celebrate that milestone and treat myself, but being mindful of your spending can make a big difference in the long run, especially if you have big goals like maybe having kids one day. But for now, my cat Roxy is my favorite child and the only child I will be having anytime soon. Secret 7, and this is very cheesy from your big sis, keep learning and growing. Finally, remember that financial literacy is a journey, not a destination. Keep learning, whether it's through books, podcasts, or workshops, or my YouTube videos. Don't be afraid to ask for help and lean on maybe your parents or a mentor. Whether it's from a financial advisor or even a friend who's good with money, just ask. Respectfully, of course. And most importantly, give yourself grace. You're going to make mistakes. I sometimes feel like I'm starting over every month. That's part of the process. What matters is that you're trying, learning, making progress, and creating good habits consistently over time. I hope this episode gave you some clarity and confidence to start building a strong financial foundation. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it is about progress. Every step you take toward understanding your money is a step toward living the life that you want. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what financial goal you're working on right now. I'd like to pay off my car my loan lasts for 3 years, but I want to pay it off early. That's my goal. Till next time, comment below what you are saving up for, what your financial goal is, and I hope you have a fantastic year. Make sure you stay tuned for Adulting 101, Mastering Your 20s.